Ciao, sono Sara Z, autrice del romanzo Non ho chiesto l'America e creatrice di Sara Z La Land Stories. Qui troverete tutti gli audio delle mie dirette Instagram. Enjoy!
Mark Hapka. Everyone knows a lot of things about Mark. He was in the soap opera These Are Our Lives. He was in Criminal Minds, Parallel, 23 Blast, and his most recent special project, here we go, Hot Take, The Depp for Trial, free to watch on Tubi. Was that good? Yeah.
So we're doing good.
We're doing good. Wait, Mark, you were... Sorry.
No, I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
So you were, first of all, you were in Italy and you just came back. How was your experience in Italy?
That was amazing. Milan's awesome.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Jealous that I was there, weren't you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I said you were very jealous that I was there, weren't you?
I was a lot, but I think I'm going back in January. Okay. So, but when you sent me a few photos of Milan, I was like, oh, I felt a little drop. I felt a little bit emotional, really. How was?
It was amazing. When I was leaving, they were just building out all the beautiful Christmas decorations that they do every year. So they were in the middle of that and putting the decorations on trees and around the Duomo. It was beautiful. Yeah. So
when you think about Italy, what's the first word that pops up into your mind?
Specifically Milan, the first thing that pops up is architecture, because it's pretty cool there. It's like an Italian New York, with better espresso.
Yeah, I know. Did you see now? An espresso is just small, not like here. An espresso is like a very watery, like big.
Yeah.
Coffee with a lot of milk. But were you able to speak a little bit of Italian?
A little bit. I learned a bit of what you've taught me. I use, but I gotta get at it.
You need to get better. You will. Maybe you should live there for a while, and I'm sure.
I'd have to do that.
See. But so I was so happy because we talked last year during quarantine. We did a live, and I was so happy to see how further you went your career, because I think interpreting a high personality like Johnny Depp in this film was probably your breakthrough. Would you consider it that? Would you consider your breakthrough or not?
You mean like career goes, or just character?
Career goes, or even like as a challenge as an actor.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like the challenge is it was the most challenging role I've ever played for many reasons. First, it's one thing to play somebody in history and try to get it accurate, but to play somebody who's very extremely relevant currently, everyone knows very well. It's kind of a risk to try to portray that, because you creating a caricature, you risk just looking really silly. But I like challenges. I was up for it. There were aspects of Johnny from the trial that on expressing, and as far as breakthrough goes, it's probably gotten some of the biggest press of my projects, because everyone wanted to know about it. And
I know. I mean, you were on Good Morning America Entertainment. Here you are with Sara Z after you've done so many interviews already. So you're gonna repeat yourself again with me.
Okay. Yeah, it was quite a ride. I was out of town. I was heading to Hawaii when they broke the press on it, which they didn't warn me they're gonna do. So right as I was getting on a plane that wasn't gonna have any Wi-Fi, they released the deadline on it.
So sorry, Mark, you're saying you were heading to, you said, to Miami for the press, but after the film?
No, I was heading to Hawaii.
To Hawaii, sorry.
That's okay. To Hawaii, but they released it right as I was getting on the plane, and I didn't know they were going to. So I had hours without Wi-Fi, and so when I landed, I had all of these messages and calls and interview things, and then I wasn't available for the next week and a half because I was very busy in Hawaii, so I had to like try to balance that out. And then when I got back, I was able to jump right into a lot of the press in Los Angeles.
Right. Were you in Hawaii for work or just to
For
detach yourself from Johnny?
for studying, for school, but this was a couple weeks after we had wrapped shooting, so turnaround.
See, and how fast they came out with this film, because the trial ended, if I'm not wrong, on June 1st.
Mm-hmm. It was yeah, and then they
at the end of September, Hot Take came out. So how did you get the part? Like, were there a lot of actors, a lot of candidates for the Johnny Depp role? How did it go?
They had people submit for it, but it was done in an untraditional way. There weren't really breakdowns for it because they had to keep it quiet that they were making it until it was done. But I happened upon a producer friend of mine that I'd worked with before, and she had mentioned that they were taking submissions, and she had thought of me, said that she thought that I would be off pretty well. So, she just told me to put myself on tape and just slid my audition into the file of all the other tapes, and then the director me the next day.
I think it was the Gory, Mark. That's what got you the part.
It didn't hurt.
You already had the Gory. No,
I don't. This isn't my usual appearance. I don't usually have this hair, facial hair.
I know.
During the
pandemic, not like that.
I'll go. So the timing was pretty great on it for sure.
So what do you think they saw in you to say, yeah, I think Mark can pull out the Johnny Depp behavior character?
Well, I think the two scenes that they chose for the audition, one was on the stand, his opening remark when he gets sworn in, and the other one was some of the drama between and Bird. So I think that the biggest seller was probably the cadence which he speaks on the stand, which is outrageously slow is not how I want to describe it, but like, takes his time thinking of everything that he says, and it's a specific type of cadence and resonance and delivery, and then there's also an accuracy that you have to have to the trial because the tape exists. So it's not like I could take any liberties. I wasn't really able to create anything from scratch. I was just kind of really watching and emulating while trying to bring his screen without like creating a caricature of him.
Yeah, correct. I mean, of course, like people already had a preconception idea, a prior idea about the characters Amber and Johnny. How did you prepare for that part? Because you nailed his voice, especially at the trial, like because Johnny Depp was very contained into his world. Like there wasn't a lot of room for himself like to move, so it was just about the voice. I followed the trial, so I watched every day. I was quite entertained. But how did you prepare yourself for the mannerism, Johnny's mannerism and voice?
Well, this production in particular did not have many series because of how quickly they had to turn it around. So I had about a week and a half to prepare for it in total, which doesn't
give
me.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, didn't understand. How long did you have to prepare?
You're hearing me okay, right? Is everyone hearing me?
Yeah, just sometimes it breaks. I don't know if it's just for me. Breaks through your voice like that a little bit.
Is it my bad? I'm not really good.
That, but
should we just speak in Italian? It might be easier, right?
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's me hearing you like this. Like breaks through like your words sometimes.
Whenever we speak in person, you always understand me, so I know that it must be something technical. Well, sorry, what was the question again? Like
how long? So I asked you, how did you prepare yourself for Johnny Depp, the Johnny Depp's role? But how long did it take for the production?
Yeah, I had a week before we started shooting from the moment that I booked it, which you know, for the actors on, that's barely time to just work through the script and get the dialogue down, let alone long transcriptions of the trial and long monologues of testimony. But then there was obviously the details of the moves, the way he looks, and then the details of, like you said, with the voice. And I kind of had to do them all at once. And I thought the best way to do it was to, as you know, in the movie, we see them in the trial, but then we go back 10 years of their relationship, and it jumps around of different times in the relationship. And I think for those scenes, I would go and find interviews from movies that he was doing around those times to kind of see where he was emotionally, energetically, where his voice was, where it was sitting in his, in his register. And I would kind of that and for the testimonies, I mean, it's bittersweet. I had everything available to watch, but I not enough time to watch it. So I think watch the way he would speak, and I'd really, really pay attention to how he think through each thing that he would say, and just slowly drop my voice in his register. Again, the actor in me, I wish I had so much more time to prepare, because I could have gotten even further into it. Because it takes some time for your voice to change when you start to alter it. In a week, not enough time. But
you did everything yourself, Mark. Like, did you have a coach on set, or
no,
no, it was you?
Time and no, really, even to pull together the funding to make this so fast, they didn't have. Like, a great example is my friend Austin just did, the Elvis movie, and he was fantastic in it. And it's such a contrast to know that like he's playing somebody that everyone knows. But, the amount of time and energy they got put into that production, voice coaches and dance coaches, like singing coaches, speaking coaches, and time to really and build through essence into actual like character work as close as possible to the real person. I think that they had something like 2 or 3 years pre-production, especially the pandemic slowed things down, which gave him time. But like that's the luxury that I would love to have had. This obviously
you will. It's a prep for
sure,
bigger, I'm sure.
But I'm used to the run and gun, like kind of punch drunk approach to filmmaking and guerrilla filmmaking, and quick, and the soaps were always one take and quick turnaround. So like it's a muscle that has been strengthened over the years for me. But there is something exciting about that as well. The challenge of knowing I have very little time, and I'm just going to show up and throw the ball in the air and hope that it's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, sometimes, for me, I don't know if it's true for you too, but when we have just a short period of time, even for a simple task, like we put all of our stuff together and we actually do it better. Like, for me, it works like in that way when I'm under pressure. Sometimes I'm preparing for a live. I do it the last 10 minutes, like, okay, I'm good now. instead of taking the time to do it, like sometimes we perform better under that pressure. And did you have any doubts when you got this proposal, like, wait, who have to portray an existing person like as big as Johnny Depp, or it was a yes right away?
So it wasn't a yes right away, and that was only because I needed to get clear on what kind of story the filmmakers were trying to tell. I wasn't interested in making a biased opinion piece based on some thought or opinion on the trial. Everyone has, everyone's got their own outlook on it. I wanted to make sure that I was part of something that was going to be neutrally expressed in a very humane way. And what I mean by, like, for people who have been watching this trial as though it's an entertaining circus, I wanted this movie to express that these are two human beings that had a very real, loving and tumultuous relationship, and to see how things unfold in the public eye, and how you don't when you don't check the sign in a relationship where it's time to go separate ways and you continue on, like what that. But I wanted to make sure that it was not going to be either person, because it's not good filmmaking, and I wanted to know that everyone was as committed as me and the other actress was to the accuracy of the trials and the details and the testimonies, because Hollywood to take the reins, embellish and change things sometimes just for shock value, and we weren't interested in that. So
yeah, and Megan Davis, right, the girl who interpreted Amber Heard, she was fantastic. If she's watching this live, ciao Megan, you were so good. It would have been nice actually having the two of you together. Maybe another time. But how did you find yourself? How was the relationship with her, even off set? How did you emotionally felt portraying?
Yeah. Megan, when we found both were moving forward with it, we met up for one night just to grab a drink and talk about what we accomplish and what the best approach to doing it in such a short amount of time was. And we spoke for hours and got on the page. The beauty of my dynamic with Megan is that we have this kind of we like to, this, the way we say it in upstate New York is we like to bust each other's balls, right? Like we like to mess with each other, and it's a very strong friendship dynamic and there's a safety as well in our commitment to wanting to create the accuracy and create something special with it. So knowing that you can trust the other actor that you're of and that you can get on the same page and get very clear with makes the process a lot easier, because there was a lot of physical stuff in physicality in the movie, and there was a lot of verbal things that you want to know that you've earned that person before you portray this on screen, because it's very real and it can feel very real, and Megan was just fantastic. And I think what excited me the most about her was her talent. Like, she's got a natural talent for working with somebody, because we had very little time to build chemistry and rehearse. There was no rehearsals, so we learned our lines separately on the day and shot it.
Boom, on set.
And if it wasn't,
now touch me, kiss me. No. So I had a bad joke in mind when you said, how was the relationship with the actress? Well, we just met one night, and no, I didn't go there. That was a cheap joke, though.
But she's fantastic, and we got along really well. And she, like I said, her abilities to just go with the flow is so important. It's so important for that quality in an actor when you're stuff at such a fast pace, because you don't have many takes to find things and find the spot, work through the details. So you both have to just trust that you're going to be in the moment and be there with each other, and allow whatever's happening to happen on the spot, and like really embrace it.
Sometimes actors, when they have to work together, especially in a scene that is very physical, as you were saying, a lot of anger as the two real person lived in their lives. Did you bring that outside with her? Like, did you establish with her, hey, let's try to be in character, or it wasn't necessary? Some actors do that, even off set, like they want the other actor, they want to be treated as the character off set. So did you, with her, it was that kind of mutual agreement?
I think all actors require different things, and sometimes when productions are moving as fast as this one did, we're talking moments in between scenes, so like not a lot of time to turn things on and off, so kind of carrying the same energy through. I'm not typically a method actor. stay in character on set. I don't require anyone talk to me as though I'm the character. In fact, like I'm probably the asshole that's always cracking a joke right before action, even though it's like a serious scene, just to kind of out of my own way and stay out of my head. And yeah, I'm fully myself in between typically. So no, it wasn't really required, but there were moments when we weren't supposed to be getting along that, like, you know, Megan wanted to create space, and I was like, absolutely, let's create space. Kind of when we shot the trial stuff, we decided not to really communicate with each other because we had our own agendas and our own things going on. So yeah, it can be for every project.
What was the most difficult scene, Mark, for you to shoot for this film?
All of them? No. No, it like I said, it was moving so fast that we were losing certain setups that we were supposed to have, that we had planned for the scenes, and things would get dwindled down to one shot, so we had to get creative on how to work the scene into that shot. No ways, and that was difficult. There was one day in particular that was extremely difficult because we were shooting like this movie that was shot in 11 and had like, I think 20 plus locations. So we're moving around. So, like, there was one building that would have like a hotel room from the engagement, but would also have the room that they were living in, would also have the room they met up in, you know, like all in one place. So we would just bounce from room to room, change looks, change wardrobe, and have very little time. One day we were downtown and we had no time to block and get through it. And then there was a very there was a mariachi band that was right outside on the street because there was a festival going on, and it was fun and beautiful, but not.
Where did you shoot it, Mark? Where did you shoot the film? Where was it shot?
Everywhere. We're in Los Angeles, so like we shot in Malibu Courthouse for the courts. We shot in Thousand Oaks to be Australia. We shot in downtown to be a couple other places. Yeah, it was all over. Lots of driving too.
But that was, I'm sure it. I mean, when I saw it on my on the Italian news, because I'm not sure if Tubi is in Italy, if we have it in Italy. I'm not sure, but probably later on it will come out. Or there's a way probably to watch it. But when I saw your name on the Italian news, Mark Hapka portraying, you, wait, wow, Mark Hapka, I know Mark Hapka, it's my friend. I was very, very, very happy that you were able to really shine and do something probably different from all of your other work. Is there a person you would like to portray, like an existing person you would like to be?
You know, I find myself doing that more often than I thought I would. When I've gotten to place a couple of real people, and it's very fun for me because I get to like really dive in and try them, and I learn about myself through each one of them as well, because you know there's always going to be similarities and characteristics. But if I could play anything else now moving forward,
who would it be? Yeah, another.
I mean, I did a
Jack Sparrow. No, I'm joking.
Never done that. No, I had to do. There's a funny scene in the movie, a moment where I had to be Johnny Depp doing a Marlon Brando impersonation. So it was like a
yeah, I've seen that. Remember?
And I remember like thinking how great it would be to kind of tell the story of Brando as well. That would be a lot of fun to dive into. Yeah, I mean, I don't, as an actor, I don't really think of characters I want to play. I just know when one comes along that I'm like, ooh, I want that, or I want to try that, or I want to do something with that I don't think to do. Like that's usually how it works for me.
What would be another challenge for you as an actor to portray, besides like portray an existing person, but for your acting skills?
I don't know. A challenge would be, I actually find doing the casual conversation stuff the most challenging. It's like, oh, give me the scene where I'm enraged or I'm terrified or I'm scared, I'm
Mm.
working through a breakup or whatever. But then if I have to like walk down this talk casually with a cup of coffee, I have a hard time with it. So that's maybe more
It's always a challenge.
casual TV. That's always my like is selling the network dialogue. Uh, but I, you know. Yeah.
But you are writing, right, Mark? You're writing as well your own projects, and you direct.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
directed.
Directing is arguably probably the thing that I might enjoy more than acting, but they go hand in hand because obviously the best directors I've ever worked with were actors that were actors as well, or at least directors that really understood actors or take classes. But yeah, love directing, producing, and writing in the sense of like I haven't I haven't gone blank page on anything, but I have a lot of projects that I work with writing friends of mine and like collaborate with that I want to bring to the screen as a director, and maybe even fit in as well. But yeah, I mean, nowadays the projects, if you want to do something you want to make, you're wearing a lot of hats. So you know, the last one, pandemic, was acting in it. I produced it. Yeah, music on it now in post production. So there's a lot of you wear a lot of hats.
And I see a lot of comments. Mark is so multi-talented. Mark is great. I see that the comments here. Mark, you're pretty damn fantastic too. Yeah, bro.
Very
Right, just added. Yeah, bro. If anyone has a question for Mark or for Johnny, or Mark, this guy says Johnny, please
yeah.
do so. Any questions? No questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, I should do 3, 2, 1. No, a lot of people are waving. Wave. Bye. Ciao, 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 ciao. But if you want to say something in Italian, Mark, before we wrap it up.
No, but you can.
No.
But better than I will.
You don't want to say anything, not even a word, a sentence, something.
I mean, you know,
inspirational in Italian.
ciao.
And that's it.
No. No, yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself. I'm not going to do it.
No, vabbè. Beh, allora dico io qualcosa. Grazie mille, Mark, per questa diretta. Ti ho rincorso. I kind of chased you because I kept putting the ad on my stories. I'm gonna do a live with Mark, and nope, it's not gonna happen. And I'm gonna do another live with, nope, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna do another live with Mark. No, it isn't gonna happen. Finally.
Yeah, we were trying to do it at a time where I was just moving around way too much. But I'm.
No worries. I feel like joking today with you, and not being so serious. So it's all good. But thank you so much. If you would like to add something or like an advice for actors, or your last, let's say your last take on this, on what you just did. What did you learn in one word? What did you learn by this experience in the film Hot Take, the Depp Heard trial?
You got me down to a word.
Well, one word, or like
okay, one statement.
What you took back home with you from this special experience.
I would say that the thing I got the most from was to that when things are you know, as an actor, when things are so when things are spinning quickly and you can barely keep up with yourself, learn to trust more, learn to keep focus on your calm, and to be present in and trust that it'll all unfold the way that it's supposed to. because it's easy to forget that when you hit stress situations, when a lot is being asked of you and a lot is being asked of everyone else around you and feeling the same. I think it's important to trust.
Va bene, perfetto, andava benissimo. It was so
Hey.
good. But thank you, Johnny. I mean, thank you, Mark. Thank you.
It's great talking.
Grazie mille, grazie a tutti, a chi era in diretta con noi. Thanks to everyone who was live with us. Un abbraccio, un bacio. Ciao, Mark. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.